3. Ha! Ha ha ha! We're live. We're live. So today we're coming live to you from my business page, which I've never done before. I don't really think. And anyway, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And we're still at Mike's Magic. It says auto detailing and paint enhancement. Trust me, that's what it says up there. Michael Edge, that's me. And yeah, there's my phone number. It's official, you guys. It's sticking to this paint because this paint needs attention. That's okay. That's why we are here. It's a nice sunny day. Well, off and on. Sun comes out for what, about 10-15 minutes at a time, then it goes away. But anyway, this is Miss Angela. She's learning how to do this stuff, and this is her car. 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nissan Kicks, which when we started on it, we already did a few videos. It wasn't in awful condition, but it did need some love as far as the paint and all that goes, because it lives outside on Angela's farm, and at work she has to park close to trees, so it gets tree sap on it and all that kind of mess, and plus all the usual other contaminants that the rest of us get also from just driving down the road and our car being outside at times. So, but the other day, Angela, do you remember what we did to it exactly the other day?
Strip wash?
Strip washed it, and that, how many steps was that? Several?
Several.
Several steps. It wasn't just a one-step process.
No.
All right, and what was our, you remember what the first step was? Pre-rinse?
Pre-rinse.
Yeah.
I wanted to say power
Yeah. Anyway, it was a typical strip wash. We did a strip wash video, so we're not going to redo it today. We did a strip wash. Did we decontaminate? I don't remember. I don't remember now.
No.
I don't think we did. We left that step out.
We didn't do that.
We should have done that today, but your paint's so clean now, I don't know that it's truly necessary, but we should have decontaminated the paint today. Oh well, but anyway, that would have been the next step. What that is, basically, you take your stuff that's made for that, like Iron X or one of those products, you spray the paint down, let it sit for a minute or two, then you just hose it off. That's all there is. And what it does, it melts away those metal particles which land on your car, either from being airborne as dust or from splashing up from rain, that kind of stuff. Or sometimes they're floating in the atmosphere, and then when it rains, or they get caught up in the dew particles, and it ends up on the surface of your vehicle, and they can become bonded to your paint, and they can also embed into the clear coat like many of these other contaminants, like bird poop and stuff like that, engine oil, transmission fluid, all that stuff ends up on the roadway. Yeah, and eventually, if it rains, like I said, and it mixes with the rainwater, ends up on your paint. And so, yeah, so we did the strip wash and all that. So the paint should be clean, right, Angela? Should be.
Should be.
Yeah. But is it really? Because we strip washed it. But so, and what a lot of people do, they'll run their hand across the paint like this, and yeah, you can feel it's not really clean. All right, do that. You feel what I'm talking about there? You can feel some stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, something I showed you a few minutes ago, to be completely above board here and honest, is what we call, and it works. And like I told you a while ago, I'm not real sure why it works, called the plastic baggie test. But you just take a regular old cheap plastic sandwich bag. The cheaper the better, really. And
You
rub
can
your,
feel it.
you feel a lot more that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
It's totally different.
It is.
So that tells you the paint is not really clean. So what are we going to do about that? It's probably clean enough for most people. They say, oh yeah, wax it. Well, a little cleaner wax might help some, but at this stage, the only practical way to remove those contaminants, the bonded ones, which is what you're feeling, some of them have probably embedded into the clear coat to some degree. The only practical way is to use what they call a Claybar, which is this right here. It looks a lot like silly putty or Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
It's got kind of almost the same consistency, but it's totally different. Trust me, that stuff won't work on your car. Don't try it. It won't hurt it, I don't think. And that stuff's kind of sticky, right?
Yeah.
That's why when I'm doing Claybar, I like to wear a pair of gloves, because you're not really handling anything that's harmful to your skin when you're doing this. But that likes to stick to my fingers, it just irritates me. So I wear just a cheap pair of surgical gloves, is what I call them, while I'm doing that, just so it, like if I want to stop and go get a snack or go to the store or whatever, all I got to do is snatch the gloves off. I ain't got to stop trying to clean all that crap off of my fingers. Because when it sticks, it's hard to get off. And so we're going to be Claybarring, and we're going to show people how to do that here in just a minute. Claybarring, folks, is not rocket science, although there is science behind it. And people oftentimes ask me, well, if you're going to be buffing your car, can't you get those contaminants off that way? The answer is yes, you can. But if you don't do this first, those buffing pads will gum up very quickly. And you'll have to stop after every small section of buffing and clean the pads. Or when a buffing pad starts to get dirty or starts to gum up, it's not effective any longer, or not as effective. So if you don't do this before you buff, you're either not going to do a very good job of buffing, or you're going to be working your tail off, cleaning pads or changing pads every 2 or 3 minutes. You're going to go through a lot of buffing pads if you don't do this first. That is my opinion. And trust me, I've done it. So, yeah. So, go ahead. I say, go over and grab you a pair of gloves, Miss Angela. We're both going to attack this car after we go off the air. Isn't there a pair? Yeah, okay. So we'll both move around this car and probably Claybar it very quickly. We're also going to Claybar the glass as well. Yes, you can Claybar glass, folks. It's a good way to get a lot of the crap off of the glass that gets on there. Some of that stuff you don't see when it's dry, but it's when the glass gets kind of wet. Uh-oh, there we are. Or you get it direct sunlight. It'll get a lot of that stuff off. We may end up having to buff the glass as well. Our plan right now is to do a one step on the car. The paint, like I said, we may end up doing the glass. And then we'll paint prep it. And then our plan is to put a ceramic coating, a high-grade ceramic coating on this vehicle. So that hopefully, because it does live outside, it will help maintenance-wise. And, ceramic coatings last for a matter of years, whereas your waxes and sealants are rated in a matter of months at best. So, and it's a lot harder, it's a lot durable. It does help prevent some of the scratching that can occur, but it's not going to prevent, like if something flies up off the roadway and pings on your paint, it won't help that much. But that's our plan. But like I say, our next step is to Claybar it. So Miss Angela, if you'll grab up that chunk of Claybar right there. We've already kneaded it to a clean, what you do is you knead that stuff just like you would Play-Doh until you get a clean side, and you flatten it out like she has that flat there. And That's really stuck to your paint, that magnet is. And then what we do is we'll take what we have here is ONR, optimum no rinse solution, diluted down to the what they call their quick detail ratio, which is what we're going to use to lube, because you're not going to rub that dry across the paint. You're going to want lubrication down first. So first thing you do is you take and spray your area, wet it down with this stuff really good.
What size area?
Just right here, however big you want to do, really. Because we're inside out of the direct sunlight, and we got the air conditioner going, so we'll be pretty good. That's probably good. Set it down over there, yeah. Then you take your Claybar and just straight lines. Now, not circles, straight lines. Just rub it back and forth. You'll feel it catching just very lightly, just enough to keep contact with the paint. It's all you want. And
do you make one pass?
You can make two. See, normally what I do is make shorter ones like this, and then work my way to the middle, or start in the middle and work my way back, because you're going to start feeling it catching. You can feel if it's catching contaminants, and you're going to want to move kind of quickly. So you want those little ones like this. You want to do it like this.
Oh, gotcha.
See, I'm not feeling any there.
Okay.
So that tells me I'm done with that part, because I didn't feel a damn thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's just sliding freely.
Okay.
Because when you run up on contaminants, you'll feel it kind of starting to catch, and you'll be able to feel it grabbing those. There you go. And see, what I'd do is I would probably start up here. I'd do like this section. I'd do it like this, and then I might do it a crosshatch pattern, just to make sure I hit
move over here?
Huh?
Keep over here? Or
keep wherever you want. Okay. However it's easier for you to reach it, or whichever way. There's no right or wrong, you know. Just whatever works better for you, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing about going live on my business page, people aren't used to it. There's no watchers. So there's nobody watching you right now.
There's nobody watching me do this?
No,
okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
Or at least if there are, it's not showing me. You see, now I would go back and forth that way. Just quickly. Because like I say, if you're getting stuff, you'll know it. If there's anything left, you'll know it. You'll feel it. You will feel it. And then when you get done with a section, then you just grab your towel and just kind of dry it down. Wipe all that excess off, as we call it, mop up, as we call it. You're not drying it, you don't want to put pressure on it.
Don't put pressure on it.
No, just because all you want is to get it damp dry.
Okay.
We're not drying it.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be bone dry.
Okay.
Just however good you want it to look till we move on, because we're going to buff it anyway.
Right.
So, and this stuff will, once you get it kind of damp dry, it'll dry itself streak free.
All right.
Pretty much.
All right.
But whenever you're doing stuff like that, the least amount of pressure you can put on the paint, the better.
All right.
And don't worry about when it's running down. That's all right. It's not hurting anything. See, what you want to do is, instead of grabbing it with your thumb like that,
Flat.
you want it as flat as you can possibly get it.
Okay.
See, I can feel the contaminants there. But I got them. They're gone. Yeah, if you're doing it like this, you'll be here all day long. And you want it as flat as possible, because you're covering more area. And whatever pressure you are putting on the paint is being spread out over a wider area. Are you feeling any of this stuff when you're doing it?
A little bit.
Yeah. And you could tell when they're gone, because it just slides slick as it can be over it. And you know what? And that's all there is to Claybar. folks. That's all there is to that. Yeah. You know, some folks are really picky. They want the car to look as good as it possibly can after every step, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I say, why agonize over buffing your paint to near perfection like Claybarring when we're going to be buffing it anyway here in a little while? You know, that's the time to worry about that sort of thing. Not now, but some people like that. They want to do it that way. You know, that's fine. I'm just saying, if you're going to be following this up with buffing, which you should do, because I guarantee you we're scratching this paint right now. I guarantee you 100%. But that's just the way that's the minuscule cost of Claybarring, but the benefits far outweigh the risks. And if you keep turning that and getting to a clean spot, you will be fine. I was just going to take a quick minute and show these folks the other tool that a lot of folks use. It's called a synthetic Claybar. This particular one I think is made by Mothers, and it's, you know, you can see that it's more of a permanent type thing. It works the same fashion. This is sticky. What I don't like about this is you have to stop and clean this pad off after every section, you know, and to me there's just too much trouble. They are supposedly cheaper to use in the long run because you can use it. It lasts a lot longer than that one will, but I just prefer that method as but you know what, you can use these. About the only time I ever use this is on glass. I just don't like it. It was one of those gadgets. I bought it. I tried it. I was like, you know what? It's okay. But I prefer the traditional clay. I don't remember. And these clay bars come in different grades. Like today, we're using some McGuire's. You know, to me, Claybar is pretty much Claybar is Claybar is Claybar. I've tried them all. Yeah, some are a little bit better. Some are a little bit more durable. But the point here is this just happens to be McGuire's, which is okay stuff. But this grade we're using today, I picked the mild grade. It's the least abrasive of the grades of Claybar because her paint wasn't that bad. And it did not need the aggressive grade of Claybar on it like some vehicles do that I get hold of. Some I'm like, yeah, no, the mile's not even going to come close. You know, I've had some that were really, really, really bad, and that I did use the synthetic on those. You know, because you know you're in for a fight. You know, but that's how you Claybar, folks. Nothing to it. It just takes a little time, a little effort, but the benefits are superb. So if you guys are watching, I don't think anybody watched us live today, but this is a first, so whatever. Well, I'll post it on my personal page as just a straight out video later, and on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I had one guy subscribe to my YouTube channel just because of you, Angela. The guy out in Texas. The young guy, the one that gets so excited, was so excited. Yeah, Landon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He subscribed to my YouTube channel.
Aw, good.
I was like, okay, thank you. Because he's just such a pleasure to watch, you know. But anyway, if you're watching, you know what? In the comment section down there, tell me where you're watching from. I'm always interested in that for people I don't really know that well. I find that a curiosity. And leave questions if you have any about this process or these products, where I get them, how much they cost, anything. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if you want a pointer on any part of it, let me know, and I'll happy to answer any and all of those questions. You know, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I don't really care. Don't bother me either way. But they tell me if you do this or this, it helps my algorithm, whatever that is. Any reaction or interaction ugly comments, positive comments. But hey, don't do like that one guy's been doing, I think on my YouTube channel. He posts links in the comments section to porno. And I have to go back and delete those. I'm like, really? I didn't think that was allowed. I think there's a way you can cut that out. But I haven't scienced that out yet. But, you know, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, make comments. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on the video. It's supposed to be in there somewhere. And you'll be notified of future videos when I post them there. And we're doing a whole series of Miss Angela learning how to do this, because she's interested in learning how to do it, and she's going to help me some when I do it as for money. I do it as a business, obviously. You guys saw my business card earlier, or some of you did. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started back on this. We're not going to bore y'all watching us Claybar this whole vehicle. It'll take a little while, but we'll be back later with part 2 of this particular mini series out of the big series. All right, guys, thank y'all very much. I appreciate you